Hey guys, it's Rena. Welcome back to my channel. I've been filming a lot today, so if you see the same clothes and everything, that's why I'm wearing my Sailor Scout shirt today, so kind of staying comfortable. Today I wanted to talk about the Sugarpill Pro Palettes. I have two of them because I have quite a few Sugarpill eyeshadows, and I wanted to just share the logistics of this, whether or not I think it's a good deal, and just kind of how I organize mine and stuff like that. So to start it off, the palettes look like this. They are quite large. Just to compare it to something, this is the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette. It's about two of these, and it adds a little extra height as well. So these are quite large. They're pretty bulky, but they're fairly slim. So they'd fit into a drawer really well. I found that they actually do fit into like a file organizer if you have one of those for your palettes. But yeah, they are a little bit large, so that's something to think about. For me, it was okay because I had so many of the little palettes that I kind of wanted to consolidate them all into one. And I didn't have any Z palettes, because Z palettes I think would be a really good alternative to this if you already own them. I didn't, so this was cute to me because I got Sugarpill packaging and it fits my Sugarpill pans perfectly. So the empty palette itself is $20, which I don't think is bad when you consider how much a Z palette can be. And this is my first one. This is my matte palette. It holds 12 eyeshadows. They're 36mm pans and 3.5 grams of product apiece. Each of the refill pans comes in its own container like this, and you put it in yourself. It shows you the color on the back, and you just kind of pop it out of here. The pans individually are $10 unless you're buying Moneymaker, which is a foiled eyeshadow, which is $13 just because the ingredients are a little bit different and more expensive. But a typical Sugarpill eyeshadow is going to be $10 for the refill pan. This is opposed to $13 to buy it in a single compact on its own. So I already had so many Sugarpill eyeshadows that for me to fill out my palettes, I only needed to buy 4. It really would have only been 3 if I had depotted kimchi, but I didn't feel like depotting that one. I wanted to keep it in its like packaging. But yeah, this is how I organized mine. So if you think about the prices, if you're going to fill up a whole palette with 12 eyeshadows, it's going to be $120, which is really, really pricey. But if you think about the amount of shadow you're getting, it's not actually a bad deal. If you're a pro, like these are called the pro palettes, like if you do makeup for your job, you know, theater or something like that, it might be worth it because these pans are huge. I've never hit pan. I've seen people who have, but I just haven't, although I do use them all the time. I don't know that it would necessarily be worth it to buy it all at once unless you get them during their 20% off Black Friday or Valentine's Day sale, which would be a good deal then. However, if you do buy all 12 at once, you get the Pro palette for free. And if you buy 6 pans, so to fill up half the palette, you get the palette half off for $10. So that makes it a little bit easier and a little bit, you know, less like, oh, gulp, I just spent a lot of money. For me, I just bought 2 empty Pro palettes and 4 shadows to fill them out. It would have been about the same for me to buy a Z palette, and I'd rather have the Sugarpill palette. That's just me personally. I just think it looks really nice. So I did just notice this, and it's really cool. I don't know if you'll be able to, yeah, you can see. You can see these holes all throughout the back. They're on the back of the pans, so you can poke like a needle or something or a pin through the back to pop out the palettes because it's magnetic. So that makes it really easy to move your shadows around if you decide you want to reorganize them or something. This feature on the back makes that super easy and simple. So you shouldn't have a lot of mess. You're not going to have to like re-depot them. You're not going to have to scrape them out of here. It should be fairly easy. So that's my first palette. I'll go through all the colors in a second. Just wanted to show you my second one, which is all of my shimmers and satins, with the exception of this one, which is the only matte in here. But yeah, so they're really cute. They don't have a mirror. That's one thing that's kind of a downside, but it is just kind of a palette to hold your eyeshadows. This does bend all the way back, so you know, if you're frustrated that it's just kind of empty space, you can just fold it back over that way. I think this is a really cool idea because Sugarpill eyeshadows are one of my favorites, and I think it's really cool that you're able to create your own custom palette now, especially just ordering them direct from Sugarpill. The price is a little high, but for a whole palette, when you think about the fact that, I don't know, an Urban Decay Naked palette is like $52 or something like that now, $54 for 12 shadows, but they're considerably smaller. These are huge pans in comparison, and not only that, but you can customize it so it's only colors that you're going to use, which in the end I think is almost a better investment than just a naked palette or something similar. I'm not trying to knock the naked palettes. I like those, but it's better than something that's already pre-made and you can't choose the colors. This, you can choose the colors. They're fantastic, and you have a good amount. And they were really easy to put together. I depotted all my eyeshadows using a pin, just like went under the pan and just popped them out and took all the glue off. Just receiving the pans from Sugarpill, it was so easy to put this together. It was ridiculously easy. So it's pretty much foolproof, and it's really fun to be able to organize your own palette. So I'm just going to show you guys what I did. I separated mine by mattes and shimmers just to make it kind of easy for me. And I did this one by color. So I started off with Love Plus, then Flame Point, Buttercup Cake, Acid Berry, Midori, Taco, After Party, Velocity, 2 AM, Poison Plum, Dolly Pop, and Bulletproof. So that's my first palette. And the second one has the shade that's called Expletives. It's basically like Love Plus but with silver shimmer. And it's like, the actual name is like @ exclamation mark hashtag, so it's like bleeping out a bad word or something. Moneymaker, which is the only foiled, that is the $13 pan. Then Mochi, Frostine, Elemental, Diamonds, Heart-Shaped Cookie, Subterranean, what's that one? Candy Crush, Kitten Parade, Hotsy Totsy, and Soot and Stars. So I haven't really used them too much, but I've played around with them a little bit, and I find them to be really convenient so that I can see all 12 shades at once and get an idea of what I want to use. Before, with my other Sugarpill palettes, I'd have to take all 3 out and lay them all out, which I realize is like the same size, you know, about that big, but it's just more frustrating to have to flip through different palettes. Now I have them all laid out in front of me. It's easily accessible, and it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. I can just see how the colors are going to look next to each other just by having the palette right there. So that's a big upside to me. I think it, I don't know, I think it's really nice. I'm happy with them, and I'm glad I bought them. Do I think it's necessarily the smartest thing if you don't have any Sugarpill eyeshadows and you're going to buy the whole thing with 12 eyeshadows? Probably not. It's really expensive, even though really it's not that bad, because for the amount of product, $10 for a pan is not bad at all. So I know I'm kind of like sending mixed signals, but it does seem kind of pricey. I feel like maybe if you fill up a 12 pan, there should be a little bit of a discount on the shadows, but at the same time you are getting the palette for free, so it's kind of like a weird toss-up. Overall, I'm happy with it. It came well packaged. They have sleeves over them as well. Let me pull out one of them. It's identical to the packaging, and it's just a protective sleeve to put over the palette if you wanted. I'm probably going to keep them off because it just doesn't, it's just silly to me. I don't know. But I like them so far. I think that they're, even though they're pretty bulky this way, I like how thin they are. I think they can be stored pretty easily. And I think it would actually make a pretty decent travel palette just to have all 12 shadows. And what I think is cool is because of how easy it is to depot, it's super easy to change up the way you have them organized. So, you know, if you do have 2 palettes like I do, you can kind of take the colors that you use a lot out of both palettes and make one. I think that would be really cool. I think it's really amazing that it's that easy to just pop them out. That's my favorite feature. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know there wasn't too much to talk about. Just wanted to show you the palette, tell you what I felt about it, how I felt it works, and whether or not I think the price is actually worth investing in, because I know it is really pricey to look at it and be like, wow, $120 to fill it out. I'll say undoubtedly these are some of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. I used to have issues with them, but now I don't at all. I think they're fantastic, so I highly recommend them if you're looking for really great eyeshadows, especially colorful mattes, because they blow everybody else out of the water with their colorful mattes. But yeah, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about the Sugarpill Pro Palettes or any Sugarpill question in general, just let me know down below and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.